Hello, this is exercise 10 of C++, pointers and virtual functions. So the first program is write a program that reads a group of numbers from the user, and we have to place them in an array of float type. Once they are stored in an array, the program should print the average of the average and print the result. We should use pointer wherever it is possible. So let's check the program. So nano 10.1. Okay. So in this program I've created a function which returns a type of float, and the name of the function is average. It takes two arguments. The first argument is an array but I've used a pointed array. You can see float pointer array and the size of the array. It's an integer. Inside the function I've declared two variables of float type, sum and average. Then I've used a for loop which runs from 0 to 0 to s, which is the length of the array, and it adds up all the numbers of the array. Therefore I've assigned sum equal to sum plus pointer of array plus I. This will keep on incrementing the position of the index position of the array, and will add up the numbers in the array. Then I have calculated the average as average equal to sum upon the length of the array, which is s. So average is stored in sum upon length of s. So I have returned the average to this function. In the int main function, I have declared an array of float type which can accept five numbers. Next, I have initialized sum equal to 0 and n. Then I have asked the user to enter the number of elements, and I have taken input in n. Then I have set the user to input the elements of the array one by one. For this I have used a for loop which starts from 0 to n, and I have used given this input to the array using the cn command, and using the pointer cn star a plus I. So this will store the elements of the array. Next, I have displayed the elements of the array by using again the for loop command, so that the user can see what he or she has entered. Next, I have stored the average of this array into a variable called sum, which is equal, and then I have called the function average, and I have passed the name of the array a, and then n. N is the size of the array. Next, I have printed out the output using the average is sum. I have named the variable average as sum. Therefore, let's check the program. Now first let's compile it. G++. Okay, now let's run it. Let's enter the elements 5. Okay. Now enter the elements one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we can see the elements of the array are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the average which is calculated is 3. So our output is correct. So let's go to the next program. So next program says that we have to make 3 local arrays, all of the same size and type, and we have to give the type as float. The first 2 array as initialized to 0. Then we have to write a function called add arrays that accepts the address of the accept the addresses of 3 arrays as arguments, and adds the content of the first 2 arrays together, element by element. So each element should be added one by one, and places the result in the third array before returning. A fourth argument to this function can carry the size of the array. Using pointer notation throughout, the only place you need brackets is defining the array. So let's see its program. So it's nano 10.2. So first let's see the program. So here I have made a function called add arrays, and accepted 3 arrays float type using pointer notation ARR, PRR, and CRR. Then I have stored the sum of first 2 arrays in the third array using a for loop. For I is equals to 0 to 5, I plus plus CRR of I means that is the third array plus I equal to the sum of first array plus I plus the second array plus I. This will add the elements of the array one by one, and it will store in the third array. Next, in the int main function, I have declared three variables. First, int is a equal to 5, b equal to 5, and I is equals to 0 or anything. Then I have declared the three arrays of size 5 and type of float. A are 5, b are 5, and sum of 5, and then the total. Then to accept the numbers of the first array I have given, enter the elements in the first array. So I have used a for loop, and I have taken input using the cn command, and I have used ar plus I. Then for the second array I have done the same, but I have stored in br plus I. Then I have printed out sum equals to, then I have called the function add arrays, which is this function, and I have passed the arguments as ar, pr, and sum. These are the three arrays. Then this I have used a for loop to print the sum of the array, sum of each element. Then I have returned 0. So this should give me the sum of each element of the two arrays. So let's check the program. First compilation. Let's work right. First array 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we can see the sum as 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So our output is correct. So let's go to the next program. Create a class publication that stores the title and price of a publication. From this class we have to derive two classes, book and a tape class. The book class adds up the page count, and the tape class adds up a playing time in minutes. Each of these classes should have a get data function to get its data from the user at the keyboard, and a put data function to display the data. Then we have to write in the main function, we have to create an array of pointers to publication. In a loop, we have to ask the user for the data about a particular book or tape, and use the new to create an object of type book or tape to hold the data. Then we have to put the pointer to the object in the array. When the user has finished entering the data for all books and tapes, display the results of the data for all books and tapes entered using a for loop to display the data from each object in the array. So let's check the program. So in this program, first I have created a class called publication. In the protected mode, I have initialized a string called title and integers of pub and price. In the public, I have created two pure Virgin functions with the name getData and putData. Then I have created another class called book, which is inherited or derived from the class publication. So I have written public publications. In the book's private mode, I have given int pages, so it will store the pages. And in its private mode, public mode, I have made a function called void getData, which will get data from the user. And I have taken title, publication, and price and pages from the user. Then I have created another function called void putData, which will display these details: the title, publication, price, and pages. Next, I have created a class called tape, which is also inherited from the class publication. In its private, I have declared a variable called time. Then in its public, I have declared in its public mode, I have made a function called void getData, which will get data from the user. So I have entered the title, entered the number. I have asked for the user to enter the title, to enter the number of publications and the price, and also the playing time in minutes. Same, I have made a put data function which will display all these above data. So now let's go to its main function. In the main, I have created objects of the class publication using pointer. Then I have declared a variable n, which is initialized to 0, and a character ch. I have asked the user to enter his or her choice, which is to enter B or enter T. So if the users enter B, I am creating a new object using the new keyword of book, else I am creating a new object of new object of tape. Again, and then I have asked the user if he wants to enter more or not. Then if the user has entered uh, B, then I have asked the user to enter its details. So I have called the function put data of the class book. If the user has entered T, I have called the function of the class T put data, so that the user can put data of the tape. Similarly, I have called the put data function of the class book, so that we can print the output of the book, and the put data of the tape, so that we can see the output of the data. Finally, I have asked the user if he or she wants to enter another record or no. If the user say yes, I have looped it again to the same program. If no, I have come down to the program, exited the program. So let's check the program. Okay, first let me clear. Okay, now let's first compile it. Okay, now let's run it. So here it's asking to enter my choice. If I enter B, it will ask for the book title. I say love. Number of publications 3, and the price of the book, suppose 2000. Pages 400, and again it's asking to enter if I want to enter another record or not. So if I say yes, it will ask again. So this time I'm going for T. So it will again ask the title. So I say hate. It's asking the number of publications. I say 5, price 1200, playing, and it's this time it's asking the playing time in minutes. I had it 500 minutes. Okay, so this now it's asking if you want to enter another record. So I say no. So here we can see the book information has been displayed. The book information as well as the tape information has been displayed. What all the user entered for book and what all the user entered for tape has been entered. So our program runs correctly. Hence, this completes our exercise 10.